2. My name is Pepple.
I'm Sope Martins, and today we have got 15 minutes of the business stories for you, brought to you by Nairametrics.
That's right. You can be part of the show today. Send in messages to us on WhatsApp 0809 4440981. We're on Twitter at Smooth921FM. I was streaming live on YouTube at Smooth921FM Lagos. Good morning, Rotus.
Hey, good morning, Victor. Good morning, Sope. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers, and of course, our special guest from Nairametrics as well.
Yes. Good morning to Olumide Adesina, who's a financial markets analyst with Nairametrics. How are you, Olumide?
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning, Olumide. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Well, today, quite a number of stories to look at. Nigerian workers faking debts to collect their pension benefits. My goodness, I didn't even know we'd ever get to that point. Well, Rotus, let's get the conversation started.
Yes, that's also what we're looking at. Faking debts, even their relatives. I think the Punch was reporting that the relative of a worker, she faked her husband's death. Although I think he had something to do with it. I think there was one case where one worker didn't know his wife was doing it, and then another one where I think the worker was aware that the relatives he was part of it. Anyway, that's one. Also, the federal government, I think they are banning the use of foreign voiceover artists and foreign models in Nigerian ads effective October 1. And we've also got, what else is happening today? There was another
Nigerian travelers.
Story. I have to watch on my mind. There was
Nigerian
another story.
Travelers, cheaper tickets.
Yes. The aviation matter, they are finding ways to buy cheaper tickets. But real quick, let's start with the markets as of yesterday. Olumide, anything notable in the equity markets yesterday? I think we're down by like 0.1%, or practically flat yesterday.
Yeah, we saw sell-offs in banks, particularly that's the targeting for EcoBank and other banks, including Access, in the past couple of days, and that's pretty much because of the news that the Apex Bank has really increased the interest rates on saving deposits. You could recall that over the past months, just to stimulate the economy, the Apex Bank tried to discourage savings and so that people could put funds in the real sector. But after the effects have normalized, the Apex Bank increased the rates, gave banks, the conditions to increase at least by 30% of the MPR. So basically, interest rates went to 4.2%. So that would definitely affect their interest income, and that's why we saw that investors were looking at that's pretty some red flags for future earnings, and we saw decent profit taking. Then consumer stocks, high inflationary pressure, looking at inflation in Nigeria, 17-year high, that kept investors on the side footing. So we saw cash outs, and after the MTN dividend date for investors to time in, some investors saw the point to cash out. So we saw MTN breaking below 200 naira. So pretty much still the bullish market year to date still stands at 15.5%, telling you that the market is still bullish, but we're seeing drawdowns on growing geopolitical uncertainty. The fact that we're seeing energy costs also going up really not helping matters. So it's really looking like the market is going on a side footing. And also, you can't take it away that foreign investors' participation is at record low. So that's really not helping the market right now. And that's why we're seeing liquidity not as solid as before.
Thank you for that, Olumide. Anything notable in fixed income and money market space?
Yes, just similar, just a little bit different. We see the fact that, the negative rates in the market is really very high, higher than before, occasioned by high inflation. And we're seeing the fact that the tight system liquidity, especially from the cash reserve ratio put on the bank, mixed banks and not really putting so much funds in it. So we're seeing the money market not having so much, but that an uptick of is bullish. I think 7.9% on the average. On the bigger secondary market, the FGM bonds, we see that there was a little bit moderation where it dropped down to 12.6%. So it pretty much just tells you that banks don't have the liquidity they would have had because of the tight liquidity, which we understand why the Apex Bank kept it at that place for our banks to be better capitalized. So we're not seeing that exposure, and foreign investors are not really coming as much. Like I said, trading FX inflows are really not helping matters too.
All right, thank you so much for that. So what do you make of this pension matter? Is it poverty in the land, or why are people faking their debts to collect pension benefits?
Well, it's a mix of accountability, poverty, and the situation of things right now. Lotus, if you look at the fact that food inflation right now is even hovering at over 20%, and the fact that we have 88 million Nigerians poor, I want to tell you that it's really not easy out there, and productivity really doesn't help things at all. And the fact that we're seeing fiscal policy makers that should set good examples and not really giving a sense of accountability. We heard over the news where our politicians have become consultants, making more money than the likes of KPMG, Deloitte. So that really puts a kind of damping on our credibility, and all these news become normal. When you hear things like that. So basically, it's not an interesting thing to hear about. But I think, but the fact that we're in an era of technology, all these things can be fished out. The blockchain. We've seen things, CRM softwares can put on all these things. So I feel that with the right things in place, all these things can be diminished. But like I said, poverty in the land, Lotus, it's really not funny out there right now.
And I think, I mean, for us in the radio industry, I don't know how we feel about this. The government saying that only Nigerian artists to be used for voiceovers, and Nigerian models should be used for advertisements. Sope and Victor, what do you guys make of that news?
In fact, I'm smiling because this is very great and brilliant idea. It will help local voiceover artists. By local, I mean those here in Nigeria, to also earn and get some money, be it in Naira or in dollars, from these companies who need voice actors for some of their campaigns. That said, I recall that the Minister of Information some time ago had put an embargo like this on the creators of a reality show that was airing in South Africa, and he said it had to be in Nigeria or you wouldn't air here in Nigeria. And we've seen how much in revenue that has, raked in for the Lagos state government, and for people in the creative space who also work as crew members on that reality show project. So for this voiceover, I think a lot of people will make so much money from it.
And Sope, no thoughts from you?
I don't know. I'm in two minds about this. So first of all, as a service provider within the industry that we're in, I think it's a good move. However, just in terms of freedom of creativity and expression, I'm not too sure about it.
All right, Olumide, real quick, Nigerians are finding ways to buy cheaper tickets, either by flying to Ghana to fly overseas, or I saw another very interesting one where travel agents are getting their partners in other countries to purchase the tickets for Nigeria to overseas destinations, since they have shut down the ability to buy cheaper tickets here because the money is trapped. What do you make of all these ways? I mean, did we expect this, Olumide, that people will find cheaper?
Hold on. First of all, that first way has been around for years.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Because for a number of first class passengers would do that. I think it was first class, yes, would do that because of the exorbitant rates, and so they would go to Ghana, and hey presto, it was all good.
Indeed. Olumide, what do you make of it?
Yeah, but just like the last speaker said, I think I agree. It's been trending for a while, but I think another incentive you need to understand, it really tells you the fact that the Naira is more valued than other African currencies. So, for example, if you look at the Ghanaian currency, for example, it has dipped twice the amount the Nigerian currency has. So, definitely it's cheaper for Nigerians to really purchase these things outside. But it still doesn't take away the fact that we have the dollar liquidity problem across many African countries. And that's why we've seen even the Ghanaian government asking for the 17 bailouts, from the World Bank. So, but, it's really a very problematic situation in Africa's largest economy, the fact that the government has not been able to work on the $460 million, which has now gotten to about $600 million that we the airlines have been able to remit. But the standard procedure by the Apex Bank is they have to join the queue, and the Apex Bank does not do partisan feelings on that side. So while it has a systemic risk on the fact that it spoils our credibility, it just irons the fact that Nigeria really needs to work on those things in our oil, because we really have FX liquidity problem, and that's really creates so much embarrassment, because one will expect the fact that a country that produces 2.5 million barrels of oil a day in a good day would not have such problems. But the reality is that we are barely meeting 1.2 million barrels per day, and we're not seeing FX inflows like we used to. So Rotus is a very hard time for the average Nigerian traveler.
All right, quite a number of messages in, so let's see how much we can take.
Okay, please be sending your names in with your messages so we can attribute them to you.
That's right.
Over-protectionism is a terrible economic policy, says this person.
And Nairametrics is saying, very good idea. Using the Nigerians only. Hope government will earn revenue by taxing these models.
Then we have Gilbert Musa from Festac, who says on the faking of death certificates to collect pensions, as your guest said, in this era of modern technology and establishing strong institutions in Nigeria, all these sharp practices can be controlled.
The economy is not so friendly at the moment, but let's take more messages in. This one comes in, well, just send them across to us, 0809 444 0981. Okay, just the system, just keep sending them across to us. We'll try to take as much as possible.
All right, let's take this one from Karim Giwa, who says, I believe the pension death faking scam is a mix of everything you've all highlighted, but I'll add the fact that the documents required and processes around claiming are porous and likely cumbersome, leaving room for errors and losses to PENCOM. All very fixable issues of the leadership, if the leadership and will is there. Okay, let's try and take this next one. Okay. Well, thank you for all your messages. If we didn't get to read your message out on air, apologies, slight lagging issues, but don't you worry. Tomorrow is another day, and keep on sending them in to 0809 444 0981. Or you can take it to Twitter, actually, because as the show ends, the conversation doesn't have to. And find us at Smooth981FM and Rotus at Rotanquote and Nairametrics as well at Nairametrics.
We have a special offer, right?
Yes, we do have a special offer, but we'll take this last message on these fake death pension issue. I have so many experiences in the past 4 years. I'm currently investigating a case of fake death for pension benefits for a PFA subsidiary in my organization. It has taken me to travel to 3 states, even interior villages. I have to inform the management to engage SFIU because of the hostilities I am meeting on the way to investigation.
Ooh. All right, and just to end the show, as a special thank you to all our listeners of the Business Express that is sponsored by Nairametrics. You can subscribe to their premium Stock Select newsletter, which is a weekly stock guide written by Ugodre on local and international best performing stocks, which will be able to help you, the investor, to figure out what to buy, sell, and hold. And we are offering you a 30% discount just because you listen to Business Express.
That's right.
And you're watching it on YouTube as well. So make sure you visit ss.nairametrics.com/coupon and enter the promo code SMOOTHFM to get your discounts. If you'd like that information, just send us a WhatsApp message. You know the number, or find us at Nairametrics on social media. Follow them across all the social media platforms at Rotanquote and at Smooth981FM. We'll be able to give you all the information that you want.
And that's about it. Let's do this again tomorrow at 6:30. Thank you so much, Olumide Adesina and Rotus Odiri. Thank you for being a part of the show. My name is Pepple.